Okay, so a few improvements for these weekly updates. Last week I didn't do one because I was waiting for a new microphone to come in. So you'll hopefully notice a significant audio improvement. It's not picking up as much, nearly as much ambient noise, and it's very like directionally focused. So you can see, as I start to get off the center line of the mic, the noise starts to, or the volume starts to fade away. Blah blah blah. Blah. Test 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 test. So that's fun, and yeah, it also has like a wider range that it picks up on the frequencies. So just overall general improvement, and now we'll be clear for crisp, clean audio. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the markets real quick. I'm only going to talk about Bitcoin and Ether right now. First things first, let's zoom out on the daily and take a look at the macro trading range. We can see here that still just really hanging out the bottom of the trading range, and it's not doing anything terribly exciting right now, but it is consolidating. We see that the volume is really tapering off here. And as we look closer on like the lower time frames, like the 6 hour or something, it is starting to look like a bear flag, a big bear flag here, which is kind of concerning because it's at the bottom of the trading range, like I said before, and it just had a humongous drop. It dropped. How much did it drop? It dropped $2,400, $2,500, and now it's consolidating in the form of a bear flag. So that's not good. And not only that, but the B bands are starting to consolidate as well. So we see the 6 hours pulling in. If we look at the BBW, 12 hour starting to pull in, and now the daily is starting to pull in. We see that it's starting to squeeze to right about the same level it was on the last breakout, and it's kind of approaching the midline here. So depending on how it interacts with the midline of the B bands, it's going to give us a lot of information. Okay, if it breaks through the midline, there's a very good chance it returns to the top of the B bands. But if it gets rejected, it's also a very good chance that it does something like this, right? So here is the last bear flag. It interacted with the midline of the B bands, and it had a very strong downward move. So very interesting level. At the same time, we see Ether making a little head and shoulders sort of thing. So Bitcoin's having a bear flag. Ether's making a head and shoulders here. It's currently sitting, at the neckline-ish right now. So it's not looking too good. If we look at some of our typical support and resistance levels for Bitcoin, like if we look at the cloud on the daily, it's not giving us a whole lot of terribly great information on the daily. But as we look at like stuff like the 3-day, we see that it's starting to get squeezed under the cloud. We just had another bearish recross on the 3-day, and it's price is sitting above the 200 EMA, which is good. But this bearish recross is not good at all. The last time we had a strong bearish recross, we had that was the last bear flag, the one I drew out earlier. Last bearish recross was right here. Right here. Boom. And it had a very strong reaction to that. So it's a very good possibility that we could see a strong reaction to this as well, especially given the impulse leading into the move. Let's get rid of the cloud here. The impulse leading into this move was very strong, and it was on expanding volume too. So we see here as the price moved down, volume expanded until it hit like a selling climax sort of thing, and now the volume is really tapering off in the form of this bear flag. So if this thing does break down, I'm expecting it to break down very violently and very suddenly, much like it was for this move here. It'll be a continuation of this move. And this actually has a fairly large price target. If this thing does break down, we can expect a move close to $2,400. So what does that mean? So if this breaks down, say it broke down here, we see the volume really picking up at this level, which makes sense because it would be the trading range bottom. And as it makes a new low, we expect an acceleration of volume. But the ultimate price target would be, what is the current price? $6,400 minus 24, be $4,000. Okay, and that actually lines up right where we're expecting to have major support on the 78% fib retracement. And if you like to play with the volume indicators, the price level volume indicators, there is a very strong level of volume here for support. So if this does break down, I'm expecting a very quick move to this price level right here. Yeah, right now it's in observation mode, but it is, again, it is not looking good. The alts are not carrying their weight right now, and Bitcoin is kind of just hanging out, waiting for its next major move. So I'll try to update you guys. I might do a stream later on in the week. Now that I have this new microphone, it makes streaming a little bit more enjoyable. So maybe I'll do a live stream at the end of the week if this thing does break down. But currently, I'm actually looking to go short. I don't like the way the alts are behaving right now, and I definitely don't like this bear flag that it's sitting in. I'm going to keep an eye on the daily B bands to see how price interacts with this midline. If it does end up testing it, I'm assuming it will. But I'll most likely be looking to get short, maybe on a new high of some kind. But it does look like it could get a little bit more consolidation out of this. The B bands aren't super squeezed, but yeah, just something to keep an eye out. If you like this kind of analysis, go ahead and check out my my trading community at bitcoinschmitcoin.com. And if you like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your mom. Make her super proud of you. Okay. All right, you guys have a great rest of your week, and don't stare at the charts too long.